controversial, must-see, eye-opening. Let's go, people.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's show.
There it is. We gotta. we gotta. All right, my name is Tim Black. Welcome back to the Tim Black's Black Table. I'm your host, as always. I'm here to bring the roast to the non-people, the people that are not giving us the truth and news. And as usual, I have my better half, the amazing Mrs. Black. Give it up for Mrs. Black, y'all. How you doing, sister?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here. Glad to see everyone. Come on in, hit that like button, share tonight's content, and engage.
Engage, man. Don't make Mrs. Black have to say that more than once. She's a nice lady, but you don't want to see her angry. What's up, people? How y'all doing? How's your weekend going? How's that Sunday shaping up for you? I want to thank everybody that supports this show. Someone got mad at me on Twitter today. They were pissed off. Said, Tim Black, you turning everything that you used to hate. Why? Because I don't like Ron DeSantis? Exactly. Jesus Christ. Criticism of Ron DeSantis is not an endorsement of Joe Biden. But we'll get to that. Ladies and gentlemen, to my people on Patreon, I got nothing but love for you. You are amazing. I'm so glad to have you guys around. Give it up for my people on Patreon. I would also like to give a dap to my people on YouTube who support the show. Hold it down. Oh! Da, 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 da. You could say this.
I don't want to interrupt. This is podcast episode number 10 of the Black Table.
Yeah, that's worth interrupting me. Hey, Tim Black. Don't forget the numbers, Johnson. Don't forget the numbers. So it's number 10, as she stated. It's a big deal. We did this. We're doing this. We have a lot in store for you today. My people on Facebook, what's up, Facebook? I don't want to leave you guys out. I got great Facebook people. I really do. I got great Facebook people, man. They been really holding it down because there's a lot of people like Tim Black, your Twitter's dead. Not my Facebook. I don't know. Would Elon have something to do with the Twitter being dead? Because my Facebook is popping. My Facebook be off the hook. It ain't me, Johnson. I post basically the same stuff on Twitter and Facebook, and my Facebook is off the Richter. My YouTube numbers are up. My Twitter ain't, but it's okay. It's better than Instagram. TikTok's doing okay too. So anyway, who cares, Tim? No one cares about your stupid problems. Your third world independent news problems. Get back to what's going on. Did Mrs. Black give the itinerary? Well, I will. Mrs. Black, what's cracking? What you got on the itinerary for tonight, for today?
Jamel Hill exiting Spotify. Joe Biden takes fall at Airforce Academy. The Little Mermaid is black. DeSantis making his move.
She is black. She's very black.
Jaime Foxx's health. Shannon Sharpe leaving FS1.
Come on, Skip.
And Don Lemon firing fiasco.
I'm the best. I'm better than everyone here. Why do I have to sit with these mere mortals?
Diva.
I'm diva. All right, y'all. So we're going to start out today's show. Oh, first of all, before we get started, the sponsor of today's show, Mrs. Black, tell people about what you're doing.
Okay. Well, I have a e-commerce website that's a boutique themed part of the World Wide Web. The website is called softwarmclassic.com. And it's, like I said, it's a boutique themed website where you can get good quality apparel, home decor items, pet items, jewelry, toys. We are building the website. There are some excellent articles of clothing there. We are celebrating Juneteenth, which will be coming up in a couple of weeks on Monday, June the 19th.
Woo!
So get your Juneteenth apparel there to commemorate the day. We have items for newborns on up to adults.
Wow, it sounds amazing. That's enough. Let the people just whet their appetite. So you go to, what's the website address?
Softwarmclassic.com.
Softwarmclassic.com. Softwarmclassic.com. Check out what we got. It's a boutique. Pick up something you like. It supports Mrs. Black's endeavors, and she is a sponsor of today's show. Go to softwarmclassics.com. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Give it up for that. Yeah, man, I hit the jackpot with Mrs. Black, man. She's a jack of all trades, kind of. She does a lot of great stuff, and it's amazing what she's got going on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's start the show with, what's first?
Jamel Hill exiting Spotify.
Yeah, man, and I'm so glad I called this right. I did not go in on Jamel Hill. I saw this trending on Twitter a couple days ago. I said, I'm going to cover it. But when I tweeted about it, I did not say anything. In fact, I said, look, we don't know why Jamel Hill is leaving Spotify. It could be anything. A lot of people left Spotify. Joe Budden left Spotify. The Obamas left Spotify. Ava DuVernay, am I saying that correct?
Yes.
She left Spotify. People leave places. It doesn't mean they suck. You left jobs. Well, it's a contract. So anyway, she has the Unbothered podcast. She has a network. She's been there since 2019. And just so happens, I looked it up just before going to the show tonight, and I realized that she said she's not leaving. She's like, nah, this is all BS. Who are these people talking about I'm leaving? Ain't nobody going nowhere. I'm going to be right here. So all the talk about Jamel Hill leaving Spotify is unfounded. It's now denied by the person who can really validate the story or not. According to Jamel Hill, it's all BS, and we're a bunch of crazy people for talking about it. I'm just talking about it because everyone else is talking about it, and I want to put out the message that she put out. Does that mean that I agree with everything Jamel Hill has said about black men? No. But that means that previous statements don't mean we get to smear you on the other end. So we want to have integrity, and part of that integrity is calling it as we see it. Each story gets called as we see it. So for this story, Jamel Hill says she denies it. And look, I routinely do not go after people, corporations. I don't support corporations over people, okay? It's not my natural default position, all right? So we ain't going to do that here. I know that Spotify put out a lot of money for podcasts, and I don't know if it's all working out for them, but we shall see. So give it up for that. That's all we got on that, okay? You got anything on that? You got anything to add on that, Mrs. Black?
I do not. You're right. Folks don't stay at jobs forever, and when they do leave, the world does not stop. It keeps going on, and on to better and bigger things.
Yeah. There was talk about Joe Rogan getting $100 million from Spotify, and that they shouldn't have gave Joe Rogan $100 million, and Jamel Hill made a comment, Ava DuVernay made a comment. The whole world made comments about the money that Joe Rogan got. Here's the deal, guys. I don't know if his numbers have gone up or down. I don't know. Frankly, don't give a damn, but I would cover it. Hey, man, if it's working for Spotify, it's working for him. if we want other people, if we want black commentators or black podcasts to do as well, we got to support them.
Right.
People support Joe Rogan. They're not doing it because they like him. They like his content. Like, what I'm saying, it's not a favor to support someone. If you enjoy the content, support it. If you can. That's all. That's all, because what you don't support goes away. That's it. That's all it is. It ain't rocket science. What's next?
Joe Biden takes a fall at Air Force Academy.
Oh, Joe. Oh, Joe. Come on, Joe. Just learn how to work the feet. And no, I put out something on this. Hey, man, look. First of all, it's no fair. Joe Biden, I think he's 80 years old. Is he 80?
I can find out exactly.
He's
in his 80s.
He's in his 80s.
He's in his 80s.
He's in his 80s. Joe Biden failed. This is not the first time Joe failed. So Joe Biden needs to be very careful, because when you're 80 years old and you fall, that could be it. You could be punching your ticket. So he needs to be careful. And the people around him need to be careful. And when he fell this time, unlike the bike, like, this was something that totally wasn't his fault. Did you see the sandbag in the middle of the floor? Most people didn't notice it at first, but there was a sandbag propping up the podium. That's what he tripped over that caused him to fall. But either way, no matter what it is that causes the fall, it's dangerous. I know for a brief moment in time, I said this to Mrs. Black. I said, yo, you know what just flashed before my eyes? President Kamala Harris.
Right.
President Kamala Harris. So everybody out there, you keep it up. Keep it up. You never know if Biden leaves for whatever reason, Kamala is your girl, your lady. Or I should say your president. Or should I say your Madam President? So keep that in mind when you're doing these, making these jokes about Joe Biden falling. But yeah, so I saw the response that Trump made to Joe Biden's fall. And Trump's response was uncharacteristically nice. It was, it was concerned. It was like, he was like, is he okay? It was like he had no time to think. It was like a lady shouted it out. Hey, Joe Biden just failed. We just got to do Joe Biden failed. And Trump's initial response was, he failed.
Where was this?
Where was this? There you go. And then it was.
Was he hurt?
Was he hurt?
My brain was blown. I had to pick my brain up off the floor. I had to rewind it a couple times. Like, what did you do with Trump? Where is he? Who are you?
Who is this person? Where did this new gracious Trump come from? And so I put out the content on it because I saw what Trump said. I was like, wow, this is different. If you watch the whole clip, Trump does he goes from graceful, supportive concern to himself. Talking about the time he was walking down a ramp and people gave him a bunch of crap about taking his time and walking very carefully. But then he did end it with going back to Biden and saying, you got to be careful, Joe. You got to be careful. And it's true. You do have to be careful. Whatever it is about politics or whatever you got going on, it's good to see Trump being able to separate the two. I also would like to note that back when Trump was president and Biden was running against Trump, and people questioned Biden about his health and his virility or vitality, he made a shot at Trump about walking down that ramp. That was a rainy ramp. I forget where it was, but he was walking. Some people remember it. Trump was walking down the ramp like he just got his shoes out of layaway. Like he didn't know if his feet worked. He was taking his time. He was moving like very, very slowly down this ramp. And it was raining, and he was walking slowly. He was walking with someone in front of him, an admiral. And he was taking his time coming down this ramp. And people were saying, what is wrong with Trump? Why does he walk so slow? Why is he so pensive? What's his problem? Does he have a neurological disorder? And Biden was one of the people that was like, hey man, I'm not past it. I still got it. Of course I'm in good health. I walk way better than Trump. You saw Trump coming down that ramp? That's because he's out of shape, man. Come on, Jack. I know how to walk a ramp. So it came back to haunt his ass because since he made that statement, all Biden did is fall. All we do is fall, and fall. All we do is fall. That was corny. But, that's what he does. So that's what happens, Joe Biden. When you make a mockery of others, karma comes back and gets that ass.
She could.
She came back and got his ass. So anyway, but I don't wish that on him. I don't wish that on him. Yeah, he's 80. It's listed right here. He's 80 years old. Yeah. Okay. I guess we move on. We got more. What's next?
You wanted DeSantis making his move?
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
Go to that.
DeSantis. The Satan. Some people like DeSantis, man, and I've covered DeSantis. How can we say this? Ron DeSantis is a person who had used the triggers, used his authority to do a lot of things in Florida that it seems like a lot of Floridians like. The last election, he won his re-election by 20 points. So people in Florida seem to like him. It doesn't mean I like him. That doesn't mean that he's good for the country. It doesn't mean I support a lot of the shit he has going on with him. Now he's announced he's running for president, and there are people that say, okay, I like Ron DeSantis. Okay, fine, like him. Hey, dude, like who you want to like. This is not a thing where you got to like, everybody can have their own opinion. But I don't want DeSantis to be president. I don't want Trump to be president. I don't want Biden to be president. Unlike you, I don't like none of these guys. Now, Trump and DeSantis have been exchanging punches on the campaign trail, and DeSantis has to be careful because he does not want to alienate Trump supporters. Because if DeSantis was to miraculously win, and I do mean miraculously win, he would need Trump supporters to defeat Biden. And he would need a lot of them. Because Trump couldn't beat Biden with Trump supporters. Look, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Biden supporter. I'm not a DeSantis supporter. I have more videos critiquing Joe Biden than I do Trump. But that doesn't give DeSantis a pass. I'm tired of hearing people say, Tim Black, DeSantis policies on immigration will help black folks. Nah, man, you know what will help black folks? DeSantis legislation for black folks.
Amen.
Look, man, it's like this, Johnson. Look, ladies, maybe you'll understand this. Maybe you can tell a fella so they'll get it. If a man likes you and he wants to give you a car, buy you a car, you don't need him to take his old car back from the girl he gave it to already. You need him to go out and buy you a car. You ain't got to wait on the man to go undo what he did, who he was with, or no shit like that. Black people don't need DeSantis to take something away from Latinos or from undocumented people, I should say, for us to somehow benefit on the back end. And how long have you been black and not known that back end shit never worked for us? You never get the money on the back end. You need it up front. This is America we're talking about. I'm not going to put stock in DeSantis somehow giving us a back reach around. I don't know. What is this you're talking about? No, we grown people. We are grown people. I don't need to wait for you to get your little keys from your little brother and give them to you. DeSantis, if he wants you to have keys to the car, he can just give you keys to the car or give you a brand new car. He don't need to take the keys from the person he gave a car to, and then you take this car and then get the title transferred over, and then now you can take over the lease. No, DeSantis is governor. He is God in Florida. If he wanted to help black people, he'd just say, hey, black people, got something for you. So stop telling me him saying him being stricter with immigration somehow is going to wash over and help black people get jobs, because if that's the case, under Obama, you'd have been good in Florida, wouldn't you? Because Obama deported more undocumented people than any other president. So if all it takes is less immigrants, wouldn't you already be good? Wouldn't that be shown in the data? But I can find no data that shows that stopping immigration is going to actually help black people. I know you think it does because you look at the numbers, but how long have you been black to not know when it comes to black people, the math never add up for us? Just because they save $100 billion don't mean they send any of it our way. They could just give it to their friends. That's been my experience. And it's not just my experience, that's been the black experience. Once again, a governor could simply use his pen and make executive orders. Right now, DeSantis, if he wanted to help black people, he could. He could sign an executive order, sort of like the one that Marion Barry did, where he decided that all government contracts, 30% of all government contracts would go to black small businesses. DeSantis could do that tomorrow, but he won't. Why won't he do it? Because he doesn't want to help us. He doesn't want to help black Floridians. Oh, he said, well, he gets to, but if he wins presidency, it'll be different. Nah, it won't. Nah, it won't.
That's too divisive. That's too divisive.
It's too divisive. He'll come up with, he don't even want you to be taught. He doesn't even want black history being taught if it is about racism or discrimination against blacks, because somehow white people may, or white kids somehow, some way, may feel a certain kind of way about grandpa and pop or grandma. Like, there is no study that shows that teaching black history hurts white children. There's all types of stories that show that black people not knowing their history and not being respected in America hurts black children and black people. But not a single story, not a single study has been conducted that shows that it's detrimental for black people to know, for white people to know the history of America. He just assumes it'll be bad. So he shits on black people and rises CRT is the boogeyman thing for 4 years straight. But I can't judge him on that. No, I got to go by this AP course that somehow has been shoehorned in some LGBTQ teachings or something. I'm not saying that's good. But that ain't the only reason why I don't have a good feeling about DeSantis. It's the CRT stuff. It's, hey dog, I know you think it's cool for the Dems to get owned, but taking powerless people and shipping them in the middle of the night to someone's household lawn over Kamala's house just because you want to own the libs ain't exactly a nice thing to do to people. I mean, I know you don't care. We black people need to start worrying about what happens to other people. That's what you think? I don't think that's the way to do it. I don't think that's what's going to help us. I think we need to hold DeSantis responsible and all people responsible for what they do. Ron DeSantis has continually shown who he is. If he showed it another way, fine. Derek Hamilton, when I had Derek Hamilton on the show, I was thinking just like a lot of you think. Yo, this immigration thing hurts black folks. But once again, Dr. Derek Hamilton said, I have no data to prove that that's the case. We say it. I'm telling you exactly what it is. America's so racist, if it helps you, they don't want to do it. If it helps me, they don't want to do it. Do you understand how racism works? It makes sense to just go hire that black guy right there for this job, right? But nah, we'd rather not have a job filled and raise prices to hire someone else because they don't want you to get ahead. You understand what racism is? See, people love running around and repeating the words of certain people with certain platforms whose names will go unnamed. But you say you understand white supremacy and racism and all that shit, but then you don't understand the application of it. I know it's logical that if you hire less undocumented people, those jobs should go to black people. I know that's thinking logically. But that would depend on America not being as racist as it is. Yeah, it's logical that we could all have health care, but that would mean black people would get it too. Get it? It's logical that we would have free schooling, but who would get it? Black people, because there's no way to put it in there that black people can't get it. See, back in the day, they just put it in there and say, no blacks. See, the New Deal, they were able to put in there, hey, no, since all the blacks only had sharecropping jobs and domestic jobs, they were able to put in the New Deal that sharecroppers and domestics don't get it. That was the way to keep black people from getting it. You understand what they did? But see, they can't do that now because we got jobs in every sector. So when it comes to certain programs that would help poor white people too, poor white people get screwed because we're here. They can't win elections if they can't pit poor white people against poor black people. They would rather lose. Well, put it this way. Racism is so toxic and heartless and inhumane. The purveyors of racism would rather win with black people and white people dying than win. Is that what I want to say? What am I trying to say here, Mrs. Black? People need to get this. Racism is so toxic. It's so debilitating to the mind, the psyche. The purveyors of it would rather take the L and just lose some white people than save us all. And that's what's happening. The mental gymnastics must stop. You may think I haven't thought this all the way through. I have. I just disagree with you. I don't think DeSantis has been doing these things to help black people. He hasn't. You need people that are going to work on your behalf. Oh, and one last thought before we leave this. Yo. 3 minus 1 does not equal black. If you got 3 and take away 1, it does not mean black. That's not the black math. They'll take the 0 and keep it moving. We should not be okay with saying, Tim Black, we need to teach our own history anyway. No, that's what schools are for. Stop giving this guy a way out. Yeah, that's the point I wanted to make. Stop giving this guy a way out. Stop telling me that black people need to take ownership of their own kids and start teaching them their own history. Look, I'm sorry to tell you this, but not every black person is a historian. We got other jobs outside the house. We got other jobs, other things we need to do instead of educating our own kids. Not every black parent can be a homeschool teacher. That's what the tax money's for. We should be able to demand that our schools be taught black history just like white history, American history. You should not be able to say a cop-out and then blame black people for not teaching their kids history. Asian kids ain't got to say to their parents, or parents ain't got to say to them to teach Asian American history, or white kids ain't got to be, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying. Stop putting that on black people. Put it on the school board. We need to make our leaders and make our schools and make our systems teach our kids fairly. That's what needs to happen. Stop putting it on black people to do it for themselves. We can't control the water. The water needs to be clean for us. We don't got to clean our own water. Shouldn't have to say black people got to go clean the air too. No, we need to elect people that'll do that. If not, vote their asses out. Be a part of the process. Don't just point at black people and say what we got to do for ourselves. Some shit can't be done for self. That's why you have communities. That's why you have a government. And I'm not saying the government's going to solve all these problems, but if we're paying taxes into a system and they're not giving us what we deserve, we need to be on their asses, not on each other's, about what we ain't doing for us. Nobody asked Latinos or undocumented people to help themselves stay. They're asking petitioning, and they're fighting against DeSantis and fighting against Republicans who want to deport them. They're not going to the Latinos and saying, or the undocumented people and saying, you need to fight harder to stay. No, because some things are bigger than the individual. Thomas Sowell, motherfuckers. Glenn Lowry, Dr. Glenn Lowry, ass kiss fuckhead. Bill Maher School of Technical or Political Thought. Some things are bigger than the individual. She or he can't do it on their own. Has to be done with government. That's what government's for. Things like water, food, healthcare. Next should be saying black people we should not demand that doctors treat our women better. We should all operate on our own women, our own wives and daughters. That's stupid. We should demand doctors treat our women like they treat white women and make sure that they have the prenatal and after and the postnatal care that white women get. Instead of you saying, oh, we need to do it ourselves. It's just being a doctor changes everything. No, it's a system. We got to fight the system. All right, back to DeSantis. If somebody could produce evidence that DeSantis' tougher immigration laws actually help us, not theoretically, not in your mind, not because it's logical, but actually help us, I'm willing to change my mind. I really don't give a shit. I don't have a vendetta against DeSantis. I have a vendetta against bullshit. I have a problem when people jump to conclusions. Yeah, you know what should have happened? White people should have gave us 40 acres and a mule too. It should have. It was the ethical, reasonable, humane thing to do. Instead, they let us starve and freeze outside with no clothes and no food and no shelter. After working for them for generations and sleeping with our parents. It would have been ethical, reasonable for them to just, pay us instead of creating the 13th Amendment, which made us slaves all over again. It rendered us out as convict leasing. Right? I implore you to read a book. Now, I'm going to stay on DeSantis' ass and his neck. And you know what? Today it's DeSantis because he's the guy in the news making the moves. Next week, it'll probably be Joe Biden or Trump. Get used to it. This is how we do it. Whew.
That was good. Excellent analogy.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Blunt.
I just wanted you to complete your thought because you want to roll here. And you're right. I mean, if there are no numbers, there is no data to determine these new laws that he's proposing or that have actually passed, then you cannot, maybe theoretically think that, if this, then that. But, if you don't have the numbers to do that, I mean, do the study, see what happens. If this happens, then does this happen? And let us get the numbers so that we can actually, speak
from a position of knowing.
Exactly.
With facts and numbers to back it up,
Right.
But right now, we're just inflicting harm on people and cheering for that. You're supporting
the unknown.
I'm supporting the unknown with hopes of an outcome that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen.
True.
That's all I'm saying. So just, dog, even economists say there's a price to pay for what he's doing in Florida. Like, prices of goods are going to go up. I know that's good for some people because the people that sell those goods get to make more money. I understand that. But the people that got to pay for it, not so good for them. There are some jobs that people don't want. Let's just face it. Some people don't want to work in the fields in 100 degree plus days. So, like, our economy is about, it benefits from people being in a bad position. So it is what it is. That's why the prison industrial complex keeps on thriving. So DeSantis could help a lot just by helping with that. I don't know what he's doing in Florida about mass incarceration. I don't know what he's doing about convicts making low wages or no wages, basically. You okay over there? Mm-hmm. I don't know about that. But, yeah, okay. Thank you, Mrs. Black, for cutting me off there. I wanted to come up off there. That was just so much. What else we got? People that put in the comment section, I really want to know if anybody has data, not a meme, data, links, studies, something that shows, don't say back in the 70s. No, because a lot of shit has happened since the 70s. I'm talking about like now, you know? Like, does this help? And DeSantis doesn't get cool points for inadvertently doing something that somehow helped us in some roundabout way. Dog, you want to give me $100? Give me $100. Don't say, well, if I take it from him, and then somehow if I accidentally leave a couple of dollars laying around, you might find it.
Right.
Come on, dog. Just give me the money, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm supposed to thank you because you accidentally dropped $2?
Right.
And I was lucky enough to pick it up, step on it before you could see it. That's how that sound, man. All right. What's next?
Yeah, next topic, Jaime Foxx's health.
Shit, where are we?
You had mentioned
you skipped the mermaid, right?
Well, we're going to do that at the end, right?
Okay. Well, Jaime Foxx's health is brief as hell anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nothing to say, right? Jaime Foxx. Stop talking about Jaime Foxx's health. Okay, so somebody put out something. They said that Jaime Foxx is partially blind. He had a stroke. He can't walk. His dog died or something. Like, it's a bunch. And they say all of it's because of COVID. He had to get a shot on a set in order to work a movie. And the source for that is somebody that was in a room somewhere who can't be named. Listen. To actually promote something or talk about something, you should be able to have a little bit more to go on in your source material than somebody said something had said that had happened. Come on, man. Do you have to know? Mrs. Black, come on, tell them something.
Well, yeah, I mean, as I was saying earlier, Jaime, believe it or not, is a human being like the rest of us. And for me, I think that if he's well, as his daughter has mentioned, then it's up to him, or it's his decision whether he wants to come out and say, "I'm good, guys. We're ready to get these movies going, get this TV program going with my daughter." And if he wants to come out and make that statement, that's on him. If he comes out and he doesn't even want to talk about what happened, that's on him. Folks have to realize that Jamie's a human being, and that when you look at yourself, if you're someone who does not like conveying, what's going on in your life, then that's your choice not to do that. This man has the same right. If he feels like it's no one's business, it's no one's business. It's his own personal health issue that he just may want to keep under wraps. So, Jaime, do your thing, folks. I mean, it's fine, to wonder and think, what's going on with him. He's one of our favorite actors out there, multi-talented. And some folks probably look at him as, I don't know, a father figure or a best friend, but this guy is human. He just happens to have, be a public figure, but folks just need to leave it alone. He decides what he would like to share with the world about his own health. So leave Jaime alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Well said, Mrs. Black. Give it up for Mrs. Black on that. I'll just add that I saw that there was a grown-ass man with a show, and this is why I can never do just celebrity stuff, because I ain't built for this. It was a grown-ass man with a show talking about, Jaime Foxx, we have brought you into our homes. You are a part of us, and now you won't tell us we feel emotionally a certain kind of way. Guy, you don't know what's happening with Jaime, and he hasn't told you, and I get that, but you know what? You can shut the fuck up.
This nosy.
You could shut the fuck up and pretend to be a man who respects other men's privacy.
Exactly.
Instead of acting like, I can't sleep at night, because we both know you sleep just fine, motherfucker. So now I can never say that Tim Black, you're becoming too mainstream. Nah, I'm becoming me. This I've always been this way. I always talked about different types of news articles. Been doing this for 12 years. You just didn't watch it then, okay? But now I could stop making up shit about shit you don't know shit about.
Right. And dude is like, I guess is thinking if he comes out and says this, makes this request, that Jamie's going to hop out there and say, hey, hey, dude, I'm so sorry I haven't been, keeping you up to date about what's going on with that. His little speech and smeal about missing him and him being in his home, makes no difference.
Makes no difference.
Wasting your breath. Just wait till he comes back out. If he says something, wonderful. If he doesn't, that's what he chooses to do. So get a man a break.
Prayers and wishes.
Absolutely.
Prayers and wishes, bitches. Next.
Okay. Shannon Sharpe leaving FS1.
I told you, Skip. I told you, Skip. Skip. Come on now, Skip. Come on, Skip. Shannon Sharpe got that bag coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to get a little nuance. First of all, Shannon Sharpe, shout out to him. Shout out for him doing what he's been doing. Shout out to him. I knew something was happening. So first of all, Shannon Sharpe is leaving Skip. He's leaving FS1. He's taking a buyout. That means they're giving him the money to pay out the rest of his contract, and he gets to go about his business. Now, we all know he's had run-ins with Skip on airs. We saw controversy, sparks fly, not good ones. And I said, wow, I don't think Shannon's going to put up with this shit much longer. People are like, nah, Tim, that ain't true, man. This Shannon doing what Shannon got to do. He ain't going to mess up his bag. And now he gets to go get a bigger bag. Because now he's not an athlete proving he could do the news. He's an athlete who has proven he could do the news outside of football, and he has a thriving podcast, and his brand has only grown. So now it's like, give my money. I'll say, give my money. I need you to give my money, all my money. Shannon Sharpe is killing it right now. And I also want to point this out. I'm not mad at Skip. Without Shannon working with Skip, he wouldn't be in this position.
True.
I don't even think Skip is as bad a guy as he pretends to be. I think Skip, like I told Mrs. Black earlier, I think he's the Simon Cowell of sports news. Mm-hmm. He figured out, hey, I'm annoying. I can be annoying when I want to be, and if I'm annoying, the other guy gets to be a certain kind of way, and we can make this formula work. Right. People can go, oh, he's a cynical jackass, and all my stereotypes about cynical, scrawny white guys with a high-pitched voice, very opinionated, whatever people think about me will work for me. And we can make money. And he's right. See, in this business, man, I realize that people are not always what they seem. Some people you think are cool ain't so damn cool. All right? Yeah. Everybody, goddamn, hell. Oh, hell no. Hell, everybody's not cool. And everybody's not as bad as you think they are either.
Right.
Right? That's why it's called entertainment. That's why it's called entertainment. Some people really are jerk-offs and jackasses, but not everybody, okay? So shout out to Jamie. Damn. Shout out to Shannon and Skip. I'm looking at Jamie's thing right here. What do you think? I think Shannon's going to do well.
Yeah, he's already doing well. He's already been proven. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, his podcast is better than his FS1 shit was, in my opinion. He sit down, he talk to people, he asks good questions, he builds rapport quickly.
Yeah. And it's not so much about, sports. He's got a lot of different types of folks coming through, and they're different types of subjects, and folks are tuning in.
There it is. Yeah. And that's what you want, man.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharpe, man, left football. He has successfully, You know how many football players wish they could successfully transcend into another career after what was probably the only thing they ever thought about doing their whole lives? Right. And he hit gold, man. Yeah. This guy went from having a dream job above dream jobs, like to play professional sports and retire, be physically in good shape, make all pro, get rings, fuck that, win championships and get rings. Then retire and become an all-pro, which is another accolade that only, 3% or 2% of football players get? I don't know what the number is. And then somehow find a way to get back in front of all of the world in a capacity where you ain't got to get tackled.
Right. Right.
Come on, this guy is killing it. You know, so that to me that's what you call winning. And look, if Skip's so bad, if Skip is such a bad guy, people wouldn't work with him for years. They worked together for many years, so there's something to say about that. I heard Stephen A. Smith opening the door for Shannon. Stephen A. Smith offers, he put out something and he said, hey, if Shannon wants to come this way, come to ESPN. So we don't know, we'll see. Yeah. Whatever it is, get that money ready. Back the Brinks truck up. You know, back it up, because
that's wonderful.
Shannon grew up with he said until he went to the NFL, he didn't use a bathroom or a shower inside the house.
His grandmother was his inspiration. He loved his grandmother.
I said outhouse. I guess till he went to college. I'm sorry, not NFL, till he went to college. Like, what the hell is this? Skip. Look at this shit.
Indoors. Good for him.
Good for him. Oh, man.
All right. Well, what did you want to do?
Whatever.
Okay, well, we can do Don Lemon's remarks next, because I think you want to save the next topic it to be last. So Don Lemon remarks. That's what we're moving on to.
Okay, it'll be quick. Thank you, Mrs. Black. Give it up for Mrs. Black. People. I covered Don Lemon because, well, Don Lemon, as we all know, he's no longer with CNN. And a lot of people, they're still upset about it. I put out a video about Don Lemon losing his job at CNN, and they don't get it. My video about Don Lemon has done over 250,000 views. And just looking at the comment section, I got so many people that are going, fuck Roy Wood Jr. Now, Roy Wood Jr. is the comedian from Comedy Central who hosted the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and he made a couple of jokes about Don Lemon. And he made jokes about a lot of people. He made jokes about Fox, CNN, and Don Lemon. But the ones they cared about was Don Lemon, because Don Lemon's black. And people call him Roy Wood Jr. a sellout because he made jokes about Don Lemon. I feel it's important to say this. Don Lemon had a show for 20 years, and how often did Don Lemon champion for black people? Not that often. Maybe once, twice, 3 times a lady, like a Lionel Richie song. Listen, guys, Don Lemon was part of the machine and is still a part of the machine. I get it, I understand it. You don't want to lose Don Lemon. You want to keep Don Lemon on the air. Lemon's black. Who else we got? Linnell?
Oh, my goodness.
Back in the day, Linnell used to do public access TV. Might be able to get her back out here. Maybe she can do some more stories. But no, let's be serious. People want Don Lemon because he makes them look good. At least they think he makes them look good. I'm not so sure all the time. Don Lemon is the same guy that was doing his best Bill O'Reilly in blackface act. Saying black people need to pull their pants up, black people with problems, their own discrimination, were from the bad culture that black people had. Stuff like loitering, littering, playing loud rap music, and not pulling their pants up. Tired shit. In fact, the only time I really saw Don Lemon go hard in the paint for black people is when Don Lemon was going hardly out the door. That's right. Dog, and I stand by this, Don Lemon didn't really grow a backbone about black shit until Don Lemon was about to be blackballed. Look, man, they took the guy's primetime show from him and gave him a morning slot. You don't think he knew he was going out the door then? That's what they do. For people that don't work in the corporate world, who've never worked in corporate America, what they love to do is demote your ass. They give you a job that's so uncomfortable that you fucking leave.
Yep.
I knew a woman who was so mistreated at her government job because she pissed off the person, the manager or whatever. He couldn't fire her, so he sat her away from the group and had her desk face a wall. And she was like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep coming in here because I gotta get my government pension. Mm-hmm. But he couldn't get rid of her, so that's what they did to Don. Did she know they wanted to get rid of her? Yeah. Don Lemon knew he was on his way out the door too. So it's easy to say reparations when you gotta leave. Because what does it do? It endears you to black people as who are the most forgiving people on the planet? The blacks.
Yes.
Black people are the only people that when you shoot up a church, it kills several of unarmed parishioners. A week later, you on TV saying in front of cameras, we forgive you, baby.
Right.
We got white people still holding a grudge about OJ.
Yep.
So no. Look, I understand how you feel a certain kind of way about Don Lemon. I just want you to weigh it a little bit in your head. Roy Wood Jr. told jokes. He's not a sellout because he made jokes about a black man on his way out who was a jackass. And by the way, I heard Don Lemon was not fun to work with. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure all these guys are not that great to work with. Anytime people get a lot of money and they're in a structure where they see other people show their ass, when they get the money, they want to show their ass. But best believe this, Don Lemon was no angel showing up on time, coloring inside the lines and playing nice with others. Dude was a handle, hard to handle out that joint. And plus, he'll be okay. He's very rich. Very, very rich. He landed on his feet like a motherfucker. He's good. Last but not least, to the people that were saying Tim Black, come on now. Give Don Lemon a break. Edward Bulwer Linton has a phrase. He said this. You should take it to heart. The easiest person to deceive is oneself. Facts. Thoughts?
Bye, Don. But I'm sure we're going to see him again in the future. He's not gone. Nah. He'll be back.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
He could start funding movies or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
We're getting towards the end, but once again, this is where I remind you to go to softwarmclassic.com. Softwarmclassic.com, where you get the best boutique deals at prices that are steal.
Right. And I also want to add, too, I almost forgot, there is a promo code SWC 10. So if you use that promo code, you get 10% off your first order of $50 or more. So, and that's for the entire month of June. We are celebrating June. A lot's going on. Grads, dads, and of course, Juneteenth, Monday, June the 19th. So get your commemorative wear at the store. And thanks so much for your support in advance. Appreciate it.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Sign up. All right. Shout out to how we doing? How we doing for time? We doing okay. Okay, 8:05. Not bad. Coming up on that hour, I got a marquee story here we're gonna talk about here. That is the Little Mermaid, right?
Yeah.
Little Mermaid. Okay, so Haley, right?
Yes.
Haley Bailey starred as a Little Mermaid. And I covered this back when they announced it and they put out the trailer and the little black babies was like, oh, look at that. She look like me. And it was so amazing. It was very touching. One side of the screen, you got a bunch of black kids and black women being touched, moved emotionally by this black mermaid. And on the other side, you got white moms pissed off. And you got little white girls running on the other side trying to get on the side with the black kids because they were also touched because they weren't even seeing color. We are the problem. We're the problem, not the kids. Kids don't give a shit what color the thing is up there. White kids got white people and a lot of other stuff. They're not going, oh my God, no. Why is the mermaid black? They're like, she's black, she's beautiful. She's just beautiful. Because that's how our kids are until we ruin them. We ruin them. So the Little Mermaid is black. They're saying there's a lot of fallout. I'm not buying it, man. They want me to think there's a lot of fallout. Ain't a lot of fallout. Yeah, we got some bigots. We got some racists. We got these people. You know, all friends of, all the Steven Crowder friends. All the, we got some people, right? But there's a far larger number of people that don't give a shit about what color a mermaid is, a fictional mermaid. They just make money off of trying to make this seem like an issue. It's not an issue. No one, yes, if you online, look, dog. It's sort of like my Facebook people. You know this Facebook people. My Daniel Penny post brings in a lot of what? People that support Daniel Penny, right? That's because it's a post bringing them in. But there are a lot of people that don't agree with what happened with Daniel Penny, but they don't look for Daniel Penny's posts. They're not up Googling Daniel Penny posts. The same thing with the Little Mermaid is black. Oh my God, my hair's on fire. There are people that are looking for that who are triggered by it. It looks like a lot, but they're just all congregating. They're all being funneled in because of this piece of raw meat they can go after. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot. It's a lot more people that don't give a shit. A lot of people don't even know there's a mermaid movie who would never go watch a mermaid movie to begin with. If you told them people were arguing over a mermaid movie, they'd be like, yo, we need to still get down the price of eggs.
Right. More serious things.
Yeah, you seen the tick problem we got out here in South Carolina? We got some ticks. I got people with problems with water. Dirty water coming out their fucking faucet, and we got people pissed off about a mermaid. So these are not real issues. Haley Bailey did an amazing job from what I hear. And it's also, this movie's grossed hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's what matters. Bottom line. Yeah.
See, part of the problem is, I'm going to talk about this, is where you get your news from. That's why I support Ground News, groundnews.com. That's why I support it. I'm going to tell you more about it because when I read a story, I need to know what kind of story this is and who wrote it and what's the politics of the people that wrote it. Because I need to take the time to go read another article from another source that has a different opinion so I can realize, okay, well, everyone doesn't feel that way. There's people that feel the other way. And that's how it is on every story, okay? So The Little Mermaid, it's not the end of the world for most Americans. Even most white Americans don't give a shit about it. Stop. So they're going to bring out the ones that are pissed and they're going to run that on repeat because that's what gets you riled up.
Right.
But most white people, I'm just saying, I gotta imagine got bigger fish to fry. Like CRT. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. I'm insane. I don't know, maybe that hit it. I think I hit all the notes I wanted to hit on that. Very, very high performing movies, doing amazing. Yeah. The numbers are there. The performances I heard were great. They did have to change the rating system because, see, online, just like anything else, people can game the system. So there was like a 70% thumbs up or something. And a bunch of people online came and said, let's thumb it down. Yeah, so they noticed that, oh, hold on a second. They could tell that the people were not like legit. Either they were bots or they were people coming from certain places, from certain websites that were corralling to the post to thumb it down. Or to the website to thumb it down. I think it was IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes, or it was somewhere where the rating system was being gamed by a large online number, which could be anything from 5,000 to 10,000. But offline, I mean, is that a lot of people when you make millions, hundreds of millions of dollars? No. So in retrospect, they decided, okay, we're gonna put some protections into the rating system to account for what we're seeing happening beneath the scenes. And you can see suspicious activity. Sort of like when you get those calls from your card, say, we notice suspicious activity on your card. They notice suspicious activity on the website that does the rating of the movie.
Okay.
Because people got butthurt. Because those people are the racist. But you got to find them. So, Mrs. Black, you got any thoughts about fictional characters being played by different colors of people or whatever?
You know, it's absurd. I did see another issue though that a mother brought up. She was white. I believe she's a very popular singer in Europe. I can't remember her name. I don't really think I would say it if I did, but it wasn't anything derogatory. I just can't remember her name. But she has, I believe, 2 daughters, and her beef was that she couldn't stand the fact that the Little Mermaid was giving up her world and her life and her future on a man. And apparently that's pretty much what, some of the story is about. I've never seen the whole movie all the way through, the original, but I know it has something to do with the prince and the Little Mermaid wanting to get with the prince, and she had to do certain things to do that. So this mother was like, why does she have to give up her life, herself to this man? So that's what her beef was, which I thought was another, point of view, from someone who has daughters and, are probably raising very strong daughters, and so just another perspective.
Wow. I saw that there's a writer out of the UK who's like an activist, and he's someone of note. And he wrote some blog or something saying he had a problem with the movie because it didn't have to depict slavery.
What? Underwater?
Yeah, well,
I mean, I don't.
He was
underwater with the fish.
Yeah, like something about where it was in the water, and there's a time period where this is supposed to be set. I'm like, dog, it's a cartoon.
Right.
We don't have to be historically accurate in cartoons, do we?
Yeah.
Like, well, why didn't they do it in a place where there were no slaves then? Why do it here if we want to pretend there's no slavery going on here in the 1800s or early 19, whatever, it got to be 19, whatever. So he was making that point. I disagree. But I noticed that the New York Post and the Washington Examiner ran with it because those are right-wing websites or news sites, and they want to pump this idea that black people ain't never happy. See, now they mad because there ain't slavery included in the cartoon. So they couldn't find a black person in America to say no dumb shit. They had to go all the way to the UK, find a black guy who said some shit about it, and then use that in their news site articles in order to try to cause more outrage over the fucking
I'm not getting that.
Yeah, like there's something about the movie, about the time that it's supposed to be in fake believe land, or it's supposed to be based in a time when there were slaves. And why aren't there slaves
so
in the
she should have been with she should have wanted the guy out in the field who was working, or the slave in the field. He couldn't be the prince or the.
Don't make me laugh.
I'm not getting it. I guess with the time period.
The
Prince
guy's name is
versus
Craig Myers.
The master's son. What?
So this guy was said to be an activist in the UK. His name is Marcus Ryder. He's an influential British campaigner, whatever that is, chair of the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. He said, Haley as the Little Mermaid was great, but why leave out slavery in a cartoon? Slavery in the Caribbean goes well with the kids' cartoon.
Maybe I have to see it. Then maybe it'll make sense in some weird way as far as his point of view, I guess.
Yeah, you have to see it. I ain't watching that shit, but I'm watching Silo on Apple. Or Poker Face.
Woo!
Or something else, or something. Well, look, man, this has been great.
Wow.
I want to give it up to my people that have been hanging in there with the new show, the new format. Man, I know how it is. You get used to a thing being a certain way, then you got to change everything. That's called adapting with the times, and it's also called refreshing. You got to refresh the show every once in a while. And Mrs. Black, you've been a great dynamic addition to this show. I know you don't think so, but you are.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Glad to take part and, be a part of the Wolf Pack and this new Black Table. It's exciting. We've got so many, new things to come, new things to share. And yeah, thank you so much for being here and sharing this time with us. We appreciate it deeply.
In closing, just remember to go to softwarmclassic.com for your boutique needs. Join us at 10blacktv.com for more information for this show. You can hit me up with story ideas as always, and we'll see you next week for more 10 Blacks, The Black Table.
Take care, everyone. Have a great week.
Peace, y'all.